Welcome. Let's solve Leetcode 2657. Find the prefix common array of two arrays. Okay, so let's make this bigger so we can read it. Okay, cool. You are given two zero-indexed integer permutations a and b of length n. Okay, so they have this definition of a prefix common array of a and b is an array C such that C of I is equal to the count of numbers that are present at or before the index I in both A and B. Okay. Return the prefix common array of A and B. A sequence of n integers is called a permutation if it contains all integers from 1 to n exactly once. Okay, so let's kind of elaborate on their example here, or problem description with this example. So we're given two permutation arrays, so A and B, not necessarily in the same order. So notice, okay, so let's go over this explanation. Let's go over the explanation here. So at index I equals 0, no number is common, so C of 0 equals 0. Fair. At index I equals 1, 1 and 3 are common in A and B. So C of 1 equals 2. All right, that makes sense. At index I equals 2, 1, 2, and 3 are common in A and B, so C of 2 equals 3. Okay. And I want to point something out. Whenever you have, whenever the two values match at a particular index, you will be contributing one more to the previous value. So let me say that again. Whenever you have an element that matches in both arrays at a particular index, you will be contributing 1 to the previous value. Okay, so I'm going to continue on now. At index I equals 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 are common in A and B, so C of 3 equals 4. Okay, and I think that should make sense. I think it should be clear that since this is a permutation in both A and B, the last element for both of them should be the length of it. So if this was a permutation of 10 for A and B, the last value should be 10 in the result. Okay, and let's go over this example here. So at index I equals 0, no number is common, so C of 0 equals 0. At index 1, only 3 is common in A and B, so C of 1 equals 1. At index I equals 2, 1, 2, and 3 are common in A and B, so C of 2 equals 3. Okay, so I think that's not too bad. So let's get started. Maybe let's make this smaller. Okay, so let's go over our approach. So what we'll do is we'll use sets to keep track of what we've seen so far. So let's actually initialize those values now. So we'll say maybe set A and set B equals set and set. So let's set up an example here. Maybe just A equals 2 and maybe B equals just 2, just something simple. So when we loop through our arrays, if they match, we're going to use, we know we're adding 1 to the previous value. So, well, let's set up our result here really quickly. So let's get the length. N equals the length of A. Now it doesn't matter if we use A or B because they're the same length. And we'll set up maybe C, and we'll call this maybe 0 times C. Sorry, times N. All right. So now let's maybe use this example here maybe. So what we'll do is we'll say, okay, as we loop through this, so we'll say at index, so maybe just say index 0. So we'll store what we have. So set A will have, since nothing matches, it's fine. We can we'll just store what we have. So we'll say set A would be 1, and then set B would be 3. Now let's say we're at, let's maybe move this over. So at index 1, we ask ourselves, is 3 is value at A of 1, which is 3, has, or maybe this has value at A of 1 equals 3, been seen in B so far. So let's check. Well, yes, it has, right? Here's 3, it's here. So then, if yes, increment count. Okay, and yeah, we'll just increment. For now, just call it count. And same thing over here. We'll say has value of B of 1 equals, what is that, 1, been seen in A so far. If yes, increment count again. So what do I mean by increment count? So, or I'm just gonna call this C for our result, or that could be our count as well. So remember, we initialize them to 0. So at index 0, we didn't see anything that was in common, so that's 0 here. But now though, increment count by 1. So we know that now at this point 3 is in both A and B, so we know that we can adjust this with 1. But we also know that 1 has been seen by both of them, so we can also adjust it by 1, so that this becomes 2. Okay, cool. Now at index 2. So what do we have here? If A of, I'm gonna put this as 2, but it could be any index I. So if they're equal, we increment previous count by 1. And let me just add that here as well. I think maybe that's more accurate. So previous count means this index over here. So now this becomes 3. Okay, and that's kind of the gist of the approach. So let's kind of begin solving it or implementing it. Okay, so let's loop through our numbers. So we'll say for I in range n. And then we'll say, okay, so no matter what, the base value will always be the previous value. So what do I mean by that? So I know C of I, at the very least, will be C of I minus 1. So like suppose nothing matched here. Maybe this is a 4 here, and it doesn't matter. So at this point, these two were matched at 2, but here nothing else matched, so it would stay 2. I hope that makes sense. So at the very least, as we progress through this list, at the very least it'll stay the previous value. But once we get to some match, maybe this is now a 2 and this is a 4, then we need to figure out if we want to adjust it or not. So again, so what I'm doing here is for convenience. Like no matter what, I know the previous value will start off at this. Then we check, and now we check, do the values match? So we say if A sub I equals B sub I. Now we know if they match, then it's going to contribute 1. So we can say C of I plus equals 1. Okay? Now suppose they don't match. So then we need to add them to our set. So else, we need to kind of do what we did here. Oh, and sorry, I didn't actually do it, but well, I did. I only did part of it, and I neglected the other part. We forgot to add them to our set, so we couldn't say set a dot append a sub I, or which is really 1, which is really so at this point it would be 3. So remember, initially set A had only 1, but now it should have 3. So I'm just going to write that down. I'm going to say set A would equal 1 and 3, and then set B would equal 3 and 1. So again, this is more complete. We're still gonna do this, but we also need to add elements to our set. Okay, so if they match, we just increment whatever we had in the previous index. Now, what we do now is we say, okay, like we did here in this line right here. Has value AI been seen in B so far? So we'll do exactly that. If A sub I in set B, well, we can increment it. C of I plus equals 1. Same thing for B. If B of I has been seen in A so far, then we can increment that C of I as well. Okay, so that's basically these two lines here. And now we need to add both values to the set. Okay, let's do that. So we say set A dot add the value at A, the value at A for that index, and then the same thing for B. Okay, I think that's good. And that's all there is to it. We could just return C now. And everything looks good so far. Let's check it locally. Okay, looks good. Let's submit it. Okay, great. That's pretty good. It's 11 milliseconds. The thing is, well, we can submit it again, but let me take off these comments. I'm not sure if that adds to the timing, but it's one possibility. In any case, I think this problem wasn't too bad. If you found this video helpful or educational, please consider liking or subscribing. Other than that, have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself. Cheers.